carrying your love with me. My Lord, ain't it? Ain't it is? Is it ain't? It is. It is she. Y'all better get into this tutorial, child. This YouTube got me feeling like I know how to do some hair. But anyway, this this ain't about me. This story is about Ken Rex McElroy, who was killed by his townspeople. Y'all, they shot the hell out of that man. Woo! They shot the town bully, and nobody never everness went to jail for it. We're gonna talk about this. Woo! If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We lit over here. That lit is in my name, baby. Ooh, and I'm gonna shimmy for y'all. Shimmy for y'all. Y'all better check out these while I'm over here being extra. Look at me. These PJs. You better go to Roses or Max Ray. Go to Roses or Max Way or Super 10. Y'all got Super 10? And get into it. Like we finna get into this. So July the 10th, 1981, Ken Rex McElroy, who was the town's bully, like I said, was gunned down in the front of the D&G Tavern in Skidmore, Missouri. I don't know if you ever been there. I never heard of this town until I seen this documentary. Just like somebody can say, girl, who you talking about? You from Cremo? Don't nobody know what no damn Cremo is. Don't nobody care about no Cremo. Anyway, just don't go through that speeding. Just letting you know. Anyways, so this guy, Ken Rex, the town people say he was a bully. He would set things on fire if he didn't get his way. He would shoot all the time. He never fought with his fist. It was always with a gun. So that's just letting you know what type of person we're talking about and who we're dealing with. Okay? So they say that he had two, not one, but two young ladies under the age, allegedly, which was Alice, who was already his wife. I don't know how that happened. And then at 12 years old, poor little Trina got introduced to Ken. I don't know how they crossed paths, but he became infatuated with her. Went so far as to stopping her school bus and taking her off the school bus. Pause. What kind of damn school bus driver, honey? I mean, everybody was scared of this man, but you just gonna let this man just walk off with this little girl? You ain't gonna say nothing? You ooh, okay. So Trina's parents were infuriated because they like, of course, I don't want this old ass, ragged ass, dirty ass, musty ass, crusty ass man over here with my child. You know what I'm saying? But he said, I want Trina. Okay, and ain't nothing you can do about it. And when her parents protested her relationship with Ken, who was like in his 30s, he allegedly burnt down that barn and took some livestock from them people. So they were scared, like, oh, here, take her. Instead of taking their child and moving out of town away from this crazy man, they just, okay, you can take her. And he ended up divorcing Alice, who was 14 when he met her, allegedly. The wife, the young lady before her, he was actually married 3 times. But he stayed with her and Alice, even though he married Trina so that she could not testify against him for her SA charges that were brought up against Ken. Forced kind of, might as well say, by her parents to say, hey, this man SA'd my child. I want to put him away. So people had been trying to put him away for a while. Now, that's not the only thing he was accused of doing. Ken was accused of shooting Mr. Romaine Henry, which was a town resident. He accused him, I think he accused him of spying on him, and Ken was on his property one day, and Ken was like, you've been, on there, that was you were driving a Pontiac. Man, like, I don't know about no Pontiac, you better get on. Hey, yay, if you want to ride with me. No, Mr. Henry really didn't say that, I'm just extra, but, and Ken was like, oh yeah, and just shoots this man, like, what the hey? So, of course, you would think this man is getting ready to go to jail. No. You know why Ken doesn't go to jail? He has a great attorney. His attorney was Mr. McFadden, I believe, Mr. Richard McFadden, who was this great lawyer. And this man, he was not playing. He was like, "Hey, man, you got the right price. You can get me." And Ken was like, "Hey, I got it. Ain't the money ain't the thing. Throw it out like rice." So he got him off by um allegedly, because Hunter, you ain't finna get no coins over here, please. Ken had an alibi through two hunters that said Ken was with them that day, and there was no way that he could have possibly assaulted Mr. Henry. So that case was dropped. So that's another situation. Okay, we tried to put him away. Lord have mercy, he then got off again. So fast forward down the line, Trina has her first child at 14 by Ken. So she has her children and some of Alice's children in the store one day. And the two, I want to say the smallest girl and the oldest girl were accused of stealing candy out of Mr. Bowenkamp's grocery store. And Trina was offended. Hey, my children ain't got no reason to steal. Okay, we got everything we need. And okay, but we gonna need some money for that candy. And Trina was offended. So Trina, even though she said she didn't know how he was gonna react, he never done that to nobody. Trina goes home and tell Ken, "Hey, Mr. Bowenkamp and his staff said our children was stealing out their store." And she knew he was gonna go to you ain't telling me you don't know your man, girl. You know he crazy, girl. So he goes to the store, and Mr. Bowenkamp, whole thing, he on the loading dock. He just, watching they go by like, God is good. I'm here watching, oh Lord, thank you. And here go this crazy Ken come up, Thomas. So, oh, you done accuse my kids of stealing? We ain't got no reason to steal. And Mr. Bowenkamp said he gets up, and thank God he got up because Ken shot at Mr. Bowenkamp, and even though he hit him, where he was sitting, if he hadn't moved, it would have been a fatal shot. You get what I'm saying? So he was shot, and that was like the third time in this whole series, in his part of the series, that he's been accused of something. So he goes to trial. He has like I said, a banging lawyer. Like, this guy is unstoppable. Y'all better call him. I don't know if you want to call him a James Scott Farron, but call somebody. But anyway, and he gets him off again. And the townspeople, they tired of him setting their houses on fire, setting their barns on fire, intimidating them, bullying them. There's nothing. The sheriff can't keep this guy under control. Nobody can keep this man under control. He over here SAing children and marrying children and having children with children. And nobody can stop this man. So they said, we're going to do something about this. So Ken goes to the tavern, the D&G, him and Trina, after this trial. And I guess they in there trying to celebrate, that they didn't won. And the people in the town were all crowded up in this bar. Now, previous to that, they had a meeting on how they were going to get rid of Ken, whatever that meant now. Don't put no words in my mouth. But they said that the sheriff was there allegedly at this meeting. And by the time Ken was in the bar, the sheriff had to go out of town. So Ken and Trina start to feel uneasy, like it's a shift in the atmosphere. Something's not right. So they decide to get up and leave. So when they leave and get in the truck, Ken decides, he's going to light a cigarette. So as he cranks up the truck, the people from inside the bar and from in the town start to gather around their truck. Like, they circled the whole truck, y'all. And y'all, Trina says she looked in the side view mirror, and she seen one of the townspeople come, grab a shotgun out the back of his truck, and she said, next thing you know, they just start blasting. And y'all, I don't know how long the shooting was going on for, But it was allegedly 3 different shooters shooting at their truck, y'all. It was 40 people, 40 to 60 town people around the car. Just keep that in mind while this shooting is going on. They tired of Ken ass, excuse me. So they blasting on boom, 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 boom. So anyway, y'all know I love to go in the woods and we get it in the country, whatever. But they boom, boom, boom. But what I was more surprised by, Trina, the whole time they are shooting at this truck, Trina didn't get hit not one time. As my friend Amanda say, I think she crazy a little bit. Her husband, a Marine, she said, I have impeccable aim. And baby, when I say they had impeccable aim, because they could have got Trina too now. It wouldn't have been nothing. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So they get Trina, they take her up to, I think it was the library. It was the library. And they get her to safety, But Ken over here, child, unalived in his pickup truck. And the town people just start scattering like roaches when you cut the light on. And nobody saw anything. That's in the name, the title. But the townspeople, some people moved out, to make sure they keep silent. They don't want them to go through the same thing Ken went through. Of course, that was a traumatic situation for Trina and the children. You know what I'm saying? Because Aunt Alice too, I kind of feel like they were all kids. You know what I'm saying? Because he got them so young, and they ended up having to move because they got death threats after Ken was gone, because that was their security. They didn't have to worry about anything while he was alive, because who's gonna say something to my dad, or who's gonna say something to my man? But now he's gone, so they, got up out of there. But this story, y'all, was, it just, when I say I had to hot glue my edges back on, like, my thoughts. I feel bad that he died the way that he did. I really do. But considering how he lived, it was like, as Nene say, you never win when you playing dirty. And he played a very dirty game. And people weren't playing with him. And we're coming up on the 42nd anniversary of this crime, and nobody has ever been arrested. And I do remember a part in the documentary where they were asking people, hey, if you knew who did this, would you tell? And even the pastor said, only God can judge you. You want to deceive me. He was the child. No. So I know the lawyer, he was all sad and stuff, like that was the best money I ever got. But he had a point when the lawyer said, now Ken did a lot of alleged stuff to people, but what y'all did to him was worse than what he did to y'all. And I'm gonna say, sir, Mr. McFadden, sir, if Mr. Bowenkamp or Mr. Henry had died from their injuries, would it have been worse? He tried. They succeeded. They banded together, honey. They still banding together, because we still don't know who unalived this man. But yeah, they got tired of the town bully, and they got rid of him, and nobody never snitched. They took that no snitching to the extremes. Okay, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this documentary. If they have each part, I think it's like a 4 or 5 part documentary. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna put the link down below, but it's also on Netflix last time I checked. But y'all, this was something else. Tell me how y'all felt about this. Woo-wee. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.